For 7 seasons, Kelsey Mitchell poured her heart onto the court, only to endure one crushing loss after another. She racked up all-star numbers, but the Indiana Fever's endless cycle of coaching changes and failed rebuilds left her stuck in the shadows. Then, in the midst of personal heartbreak, along came a rookie so electrifying that it changed Mitchell's entire outlook on basketball. This is the untold story of how Caitlin Clark rescued Mitchell's career and sparked a resurrection in Indiana. Want more stories like this? Tap subscribe and follow us for in-depth WNBA action. Imagine pouring everything you have into a team that can't seem to get a foothold in the win column. That was Mitchell's reality, season after season. She never stopped pushing her limits, posting top-tier scoring averages that deserved far more attention. Yet each year, the Fever lingered at the bottom of the standings. New coaches, new systems, and a new plan arrived regularly, but none of it amounted to a true turnaround. Despite the repeated disappointments, Mitchell stayed. She could have chased success elsewhere, somewhere with a proven track record or a winning culture already in place. But she stayed because she believed that eventually, if she kept working, something or someone would break the losing cycle. As if the years of defeats weren't enough, Mitchell faced a pain far deeper than anything basketball could bring. She lost her father in early 2024, and the grief nearly drove her away from the sport she'd loved since childhood. All those hours in the gym, all those games, and all those points began to feel hollow without her biggest supporter watching from the stands. For a moment, it seemed like the Indiana Fever might lose not just their scoring star, but the emotional core of the team. Mitchell found herself at a crossroads, wondering if pushing through all the turmoil was even worth it anymore. Just when Mitchell thought she might walk away, the Fever drafted Caitlin Clark, a player so hyped that sports media couldn't stop talking about her. The rumor mill wondered how the dynamic would play out. Would Clark overshadow the veteran star? Would Mitchell feel threatened? But that tension never materialized. Instead, the so-called rookie sensation breathed fresh energy into a franchise desperate for a spark. Suddenly, all eyes were on Indiana. Clark brought an edge and an unshakable self-confidence that the Fever had lacked. What no one expected, though, was that her presence would do more than just draw media attention. It would reignite Mitchell's passion for the game. Clark's immediate impact wasn't just hype. Her unmatched court vision and long-range threat shifted how opposing defenses played the Fever. For the first time in her career, Mitchell wasn't the lone weapon drawing relentless double teams. With another elite scorer sharing the spotlight, she started getting easier looks. Her shooting percentages soared, and her once-overlooked skill set finally grabbed the league's attention. It wasn't just about offense. Clark's fearless style of play emboldened Mitchell, who rediscovered the joy that had been slipping away. On paper, they became a nightmare for defenses, each capable of lighting up the scoreboard. But on a deeper level, they were two stars feeding off each other's determination and ambition. Off the court, the Fever's locker room transformed from a place of weary frustration into a tight-knit group that believed in a fresh start. Clark looked up to Mitchell's experience, and Mitchell respected Clark's fearless approach. That mutual admiration spilled into every practice and game. For Mitchell, it wasn't just about scoring points anymore. She found a new purpose, leading a roster that finally had the tools to compete. She spoke openly about feeling a renewed sense of hope, a feeling she'd nearly lost while grieving for her father and enduring back-to-back losing seasons. Now, the big question is whether this energized team can take the final step and contend for a WNBA title. Even with the new synergy, the Fever still need time to mesh and gather more supporting pieces. But for the first time in 7 long years, they're not an afterthought. They're a rising power that fans, media, and opponents are forced to consider. Mitchell's loyalty is paying off. She had the chance to jump ship, but decided to trust in the Fever's vision. Her decision speaks volumes about the potential she sees, not just for herself, but for the future of a franchise that's been stuck in limbo for far too long. From heartbreak to a blazing resurgence, Kelsey Mitchell's journey shows how quickly fortunes can change when the right player arrives at the right time. Caitlin Clark didn't just join the Indiana Fever, she sparked a new era, one that's lifted Mitchell to heights nobody saw coming. Now the only question is, can this explosive duo power Indiana toward a historic postseason run? Share your thoughts below. Is this just a promising phase, or are we witnessing the start of a championship story? If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like and subscribe for more revealing takes on the WNBA's most intriguing narratives. Because, believe me, with Mitchell and Clark on the rise, the Fever's best chapters are yet to be written.